Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me on another video. So it's Monday, which means only one thing. It means it's weighing update day. So I've been to group, I've weighed in, I've stepped on the scales, I've done all that jazz, and I do have a result. But before we get into what's gone on the scales this week, I'll just quickly go over the last week. So if you do remember, if you caught last week's vlog, you'll know that I gained £2 last week. I was not happy at all. I made that very, very clear, like I always do. I'm a very transparent person. Even if I keep this closed, which is very rare, I do tend to say what's on my mind. Try to be tactful, but I do tend to say what's on my mind. But even if I manage by some miracle to keep my trap shut, you can see it on my face what my mood is saying. You can literally read me like a book. I am no good at poker. I do not have a poker face. So yeah, wasn't happy at all last week. I'm doing a combination of Slimming World and calorie counting. So I'm in a really good deficit. I should always lose weight technically, because obviously if you're in a deficit, if you're eating less than what you're burning, then you should lose weight. And last week I didn't, and I actually gained £2, which, yeah, I was quite dumbfounded by, because my food was on point, which then said to me that, well, if my food was on point, then it must be something else. It could have been hormonal, time of the month, it could have been water retention, could have been sleep, stress, exercise. Maybe I hadn't moved my body as much as I normally do, so maybe I wasn't in as a good deficit as I actually thought I was. Whatever. We will never know the answer. All that we know is that I needed to try and improve those other areas to try and get a better result this week. That's all that I could do. I knew it wasn't the food, because the food, like I say, I've not gone over my calories. I can't remember the last time I've gone over my calories. I genuinely can't. And if I ever do go over my calories, there will be less than like 20 calories, 50 calories. So it's not something that will make me gain weight. Because to gain weight, you have to go over your calories, and that's your maintenance calories, not your deficit calories, by 3,500 in a week. So the odd little scraps here and there wouldn't even still put me in a maintenance. So yeah, no idea, wasn't happy. And this week I set myself the challenge for losing around about £6. That's what I wanted to do. Again, reality, that was an absolute joke. It really was, because I was to 4 stone loss. So the closer you get to your target, the harder it is to lose weight. Obviously, my body's quite used to the deficit that I'm in. So as much as it's still effective, per se, it's not going to be as effective as when it was when I was nearly 17 stone. So yeah, saying £6, I think I'd have had to lose a limb or something like that in order to actually gain that kind of weight loss, but to actually lose that kind of weight. So yeah, I don't know where my head was last week. I think I was just that PO'd that, yeah, I was just talking crap, basically. So I've not lost £6 this week. That's going to be a spoiler alert. I've not lost £6. But have I lost anything? That's the question. So yeah, this past week has been absolutely fine. Diet wise, I've been 100% on it. I can't deviate off of it. I really can't, because if I do, then I know that I will see a weight gain. There's no ifs and buts. I'm going to see a weight gain if I start deviating off the plan. So I've got no choice but to stick with my calorie deficit, track my protein, track my fibre. Yeah, I've got no choice. Now, as much as I was miffed last week and saying that I was going to do all these different things to change it, have I done all them? Have I buggery? No, I haven't. So, yeah, not impressed with myself that I've not actually done what I've said that I'm going to do. My sleep has been okay. My water intake has been rubbish. My exercise has been crap. Stress levels have been fine. I'm not really a stressy person. My husband would disagree. He would say I'm very stressed, but I don't feel like I've been stressed this week. I've not been feeling 100%. It's not affected my diet. It's been more like cold, fluey, headachy, that kind of thing. Like I've picked up a bug or something. Luckily today I'm feeling absolutely fine, so it has shifted away. But obviously it's not affected my diet, because even when I've got a cold I can still eat. Food doesn't taste as good, but I can still eat. So yeah, so that's not been an issue, but it has had a knock-on effect that I've not wanted to get out and move my body as much. Sleep, again, like I say, has been fine, because if anything, I've wanted to sleep it off quite a bit. So I have been making sure that I've been going to bed at a decent hour, getting at least 8 hours of sleep a night, etc. So that's been okay. But I do think there is many ways that I could improve the week, definitely. And I'm going to try and do it this week, because I'm planning on starting the Couch to 5k. So I am planning on doing that. Now, it's going to go one of two ways. We all know exercise is good and moving your body more is good, but any sudden change to your exercise cause inflammation in your muscles. Even something as simple as doing the Couch to 5k, even something as simple as you might walk 5,000 steps every day and then you suddenly increase it to 10,000 steps every day. Any kind of slight deviation from your body's norm will cause inflammation in your muscles. You'll then retain water, because that's how your body protects your muscles. It holds on to water. And so you can see a slight increase on scales. So that's why there's a lot of myths around, like Slimming World and consultants saying don't exercise, you don't need to exercise. Because when people do, and like say you've never been to the gym before in your life and then you suddenly start going, you might see the scales go up by 2-3 pounds, and it'll stay there for a fair few weeks. It can even stay there for like a month, until your body gets used to this kind of exercise that you're doing, and then you'll have a sudden drop. So as much as I'm not in a great headspace about the way that the scales have been going, I'm still going to start doing the Couch to 5k, because I do think I need to crack on and just move my body more. So the reasonings why I think I just need to move my body more is because, number one, I feel like I've got to a weight now where it's actually going to be comfortable for me to exercise. When I was nearly 17 stone, there is no chance in hell that me jumping around trying to run with an extra 4 stone on my body, on my legs and my knees, because my knees used to be absolutely achy as you like, and now they're absolutely fine. I don't have any issues with my knees or my hips, and my hips was another thing that used to ache loads. I don't have any issues with that. So in the beginning it just wasn't an option, but now that I've lost the 4 stone, I do think that it's something that I can definitely incorporate. So I want to do it for that reason. I obviously want to get fitter. I want to keep toned as well, and obviously increasing your exercise will help keep my muscles toned. My body's not gonna be eating the fat and the muscle, it'll just keep with the fat. And I'm hoping that as much as I might not see movement on the scales initially, or at least a decent movement, when my body gets used to doing the exercise, then I'm hoping it'll just help me burn more calories off, so that this next couple of stone that I want to get off to get to target, it'll just be a little bit easier, because then I know that I am moving my body enough. So yeah, I am planning on starting the Couch to 5k. So we'll see how that goes. I've downloaded the NHS app. I've got Sarah Millican spurring me on. I have been talking about doing the Couch to 5k for a few weeks now, but I think I have got to the point now where I need to start doing it. I just need to bite the bullet. I've got a treadmill at home, so I really have no excuse, because I can't blame the weather, and I'm thinking that doing it at home will actually be okay as well. I mean, I do plan on running around the park that's local to me, but if for any reason I can't get out, then I've got the treadmill at home, and you can run on it. It's a proper treadmill. It's not a walking pad, it is a proper treadmill. So it is one that you can run on, and it goes really, really fast, etc. And you can slow it right down as well. So I think it's going to be perfect for it as well. So I literally have no excuse. But we can all find excuses, can't we, at the end of the day? We really, really can. So yeah, I'm planning on doing that. and then I'm just going to see how it goes, because I think I need to stop just sitting around expecting my diet alone to do all the hard work. I think I need to start knuckling in and just giving it a little bit more effort. Because as much as I feel like I'm giving it 100% when it comes to food, I do genuinely think there is so many other avenues where I can improve my diet, improve my journey, my weight loss journey, to help get the weight off a bit better. Because I can't just be relying on what I'm putting into my body. I need to do more. And I think that this way, again, it's just going to give me that little bit more control. And then I do know that I'm fueling my body properly, and that I'm also getting it even more healthier by strengthening my muscles and gaining like stamina, etc. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start the couch to 5k. It's just 3 runs a week that you need to do, so I'm just going to fit it in as and when I can do. I'm not going to stick religiously to certain days, because it depends if I pick up bank shifts at work or if we've got events on with the family. I will just do it, and I'll make sure that I stick to it 3 times a week, and I'll just do what it says, and then hopefully it works, and hopefully I get to a point where I can run 5k. I can't even run 5 minutes right now. I can't even do that. So to think that in X amount of weeks I'll be able to run 5k without having a break is just mind-blowing to me. But then to get to the weight loss that I've got to now and be able to fit back into my wedding dress is also mind-blowing. But I've done it, so I know that I can do this challenge as well, and I will. I'm going to do it, but I'll keep you posted on how that's going every week as well, because I'm sure there's other people out there that would like to start something like this also. So again, I'm going to use myself as a guinea pig, and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, so those are my plans. That's how this past week has gone. Again, wasn't happy last week. Really wanted a decent weight loss this week. Didn't obviously get 6 pounds, I've already said that. So I've stepped on the scales. So last week I was 13 stone and 1 pound. I'd crept back over and got into that 13 stone bracket again, which again I was miffed, because once I got into the 12s I never planned on seeing 13s again, never. But hey ho, I saw it last week, which meant that I gained 2 pound. This week I've stepped on the scales and I'm 12 stone, so I have had a loss, 13 pounds. So that means I've lost 2 pound this week, which takes me back into the 12 stone range, which means I am bang on 4 stone loss, like to the letter, 4 stone loss. And as you can tell by my face and my voice and my whole personality, I'm not happy, because I don't actually see it as a 2 pound weight loss. You might think that's crazy, but I'm seeing it as a maintain for myself, because I'd already got to 12 stone 13. So last week I was in debt to myself because I'd put on 2 pound. This week, yes, I've got rid of that 2 pound, but I'm still the same as I was the week previous. So yeah, not impressed, not happy. And I know that I should be grateful and happy. A loss is a loss. It's 2 pound. It's a decent loss. But if I was 12 stone 13 last week and I lost 2 pound, I'd have been over the moon, because it meant that I was chipping away at, you know, getting closer to target. Whereas now I'm back to what I was 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I feel like I've gone back in time and then I'm just back at the same point again. So again, apologies if I sound like a miserable old cow. I know that it's not easy to listen to sometimes when people come on and they've had a loss but they're not happy with what they've got. I should be grateful for what I've got, but you can understand the reasonings, or at least I hope you can understand the reasonings of why I might be feeling the way that I am. And I'm hoping that next week, I don't know. I'm hoping that next week I see some movement. I really am hoping that I see some movement. And I wouldn't mind, and you know, I know I shouldn't have done it. But I'm a cereal weigher. And that doesn't mean the breakfast cereal. It means the scales. I've got a set of scales at home. And in the past, I've managed to avoid them. But since I've got to this like stalemate almost, where I'm losing like half a pound, maintaining, gaining, etc. Since I've got to this like stalemate, I can't help but step on the scales at home every single day, and I'm weighing myself every single day. And I know that that can be toxic, or at least for me it can be. I do think it is quite toxic for me, but I just can't help it because I just really want to see the scales moving in the right direction. So every single day I'm like stepping on the scales, my fingers crossed. But yeah, I've been stepping on the scales. And so like Friday, for example, Friday I was 12 stone 13 on Friday, which I thought, happy days. I've got off of that £2. Brilliant. I was happy then. Saturday I got on the scales. I was 12 stone 11 and a half. So I thought, brilliant. Not only have I got rid of that, not only have I got rid of that £2, but I've also got a little bit extra off, which I was over the moon about, because that was like, what, an extra £1.50. So it would have meant a £3.50 loss this week. Thought it might be a fluke. Let's not get giddy. Got on the scales on Sunday. Did exactly the same. Got on the scales on Sunday. Still 12 stone 11.5 pound. That's how much I weighed. Thought, brilliant. Fantastic. I ate really sensibly yesterday. I made sure I had tons of protein. I didn't eat too late. I actually had a decent amount of water, but again, not too much that it would have meant that I've retained ridiculous amounts of water. Nothing like that. Everything went great yesterday, diet-wise. And then, obviously, I've stepped on the scales this morning and I'm 12 stone 13. So, God knows. Goodness knows. It just goes to show, like, if I'd not weighed all week and I'd not seen that drop, then maybe I wouldn't have been as disappointed about only losing the £2 today, if any of that makes sense. Because I saw it actually go lower than 12 stone 13, because I saw it hit 12 stone 11.5. Maybe if I hadn't have seen that, then today wouldn't have been so disappointing for me. I think that probably is true. So maybe I shouldn't weigh every day, but am I going to get on the scales tomorrow to see if they've gone back? Absolutely I am. So why do I go to group? I have no idea, because I'm only stepping on the scales at home and then weighing every Monday. But Monday's weight on the group scales is the one that I'm sticking to. My scales at home now, you can say my scales at home might be completely different to Slimming World. And they are, but only like literally by 0.2 or something. So when I've got on the scales at home this morning, for example, I was 12 stone 13.2. When I've got on the scales at Slimming World, I was 12 stone 13 exactly. So it is literally by 0.2. So that's like, what, a toenail clipping weight wise, something like that. It's like literally nothing. So I know it's not the difference between Slimming World scales and my scales at home. I weigh on the same little tile in the kitchen, because I've got the scales downstairs in the kitchen. I weigh on the same tile, exactly the same. I wear the same clothes for Slimming World. Yes, my clothes alter throughout the week when I'm getting on the scales at home. But again, I'm always in the lightest stuff possible. I'll take my jumper off, etc. So I know it's not the difference between Slimming World and home. It is just what it is. So yeah, I promise to put my positive pants back on. I do promise that I'm not going to be all doom and gloom. I'm going to be more positive going forward from today, she says with her face as cold as stone. But you can't help it, can you? Your mood is your mood. You can't help it. You can't hide it. I'm not going to come on here and put on a front. I'm not going to be fake or anything like that and act differently to how I'm actually feeling, because I'm only fooling myself then, aren't I? If I'm all happy, smiley, saying it doesn't bother me or that I'm happy or anything like that, and then I switch the camera off and I go back to how I actually feel, I'm only fooling myself. So I've always been open and honest and said that I'm going to be transparent on here. And we just get a different Andrea every week, basically. And this week's Andrea isn't too chuffed, but I've got to celebrate the fact that I have lost 4 stone. I've only got, what, 1 stone 13 pounds now to go to get to 11 stone, to get to my target. So I'm within that 2 stone range. And yeah, I've just got to learn, and I genuinely do believe this, and I'm not just saying it because I'm speaking to the camera and I'm speaking to you guys, but I've just got to learn to enjoy the journey. And I did enjoy the journey in the beginning, and then I have kind of fallen out of love with it a little bit, and I think it's just because it's taking longer than what I hoped or expected it to. I did honestly think that I'd probably be sat here now at Target, or extremely close to it now, not that I'd be £1 stone £13, and I think that's a little bit what's playing on my mind as well, and making me feel a little bit deflated, because it's not gone how I expected it. Was those expectations unrealistic? Probably, because otherwise I won't be sat here disappointed, because reality is that, like we keep saying, it's a journey. It's not a sprint, it's not a race, it is a journey. And like any journeys, you can deviate off of track, you can get lost sometimes, you can end up going uphill, downhill, you can plateau. And that's how I think that I should have realistically seen the journey. Whereas, you know, all best intentions and all that in your head, you think everything is just going to go as smooth as it should do, that you do what it says on the tin, and you should expect the weight loss and expect the results, because why not? You're doing what it says. But life's not like that, as I've come to, unfortunately, not unfortunately, hard, I don't know, whatever the word is, I've come to realise begrudgingly, basically. But yeah, it is just what it is, and I need to learn to love the journey again, because when I do get to Target, which I am getting to Target, and I keep reminding myself of that fact, I am not deviating off, as miffed as I am again, which I shouldn't be, because I'm back to that 4 stone. I've not put on again. I've not actually maintained, even though I am seeing it as a maintain. I should be grateful for what my body has done, and I should be then looking forward to next week and hopefully getting a weight loss. So I just need to learn to enjoy the journey again, because like I've just said, when I get to maintenance, that is going to be a whole new challenge when I get to Target, and I've got to find a way to love that also. So yeah, I need to enjoy the journey, because this is the last time I'm ever going to do it. So I need to enjoy it, because it's kind of like a farewell party at the moment, and I need to just enjoy it. So anyway, that's what I'm going to work on as well this week, of finding the enjoyment in the weight loss. So that's what I'm going to do as well, and I'll let you know how that goes on. So I'm going to, obviously, Monday next week, I'm going to let you know how all my other little challenges have gone on, the water, the sleep, the stress levels, etc. How I've got on with Couch to 5k, how I've got on with my actual calorie deficit, and how I've got on with learning to love the journey again. And if I'm successful with any of it, I will definitely pass that knowledge on and how I did it, because sharing is caring. As cheesy as it sounds, but it's true. It really is. But anyway, I am going to love you and leave you now, because otherwise I'm going to start going in circles, repeating everything I've just said, because I am a bit of a parrot like that, I have come to find. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for putting up with all the bull crap I come out with and just the rants. And I apologise profusely that these last couple of vlogs haven't been as positive as they usually are. I do promise normal viewing, normal positivity will resume soon, because I'm going to give my bum a right big kick up the jacksie. And yeah, hopefully next week I come on with better results and a better attitude. Let's keep them fingers crossed. Anyway, thank you again. If I don't see you before, I will see you next week. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you then. Bye.